Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Maya. Welcome to the second series of Behind the Rhymes.
The mountain we all climb. Wave. The second wave hits the bleak and battered shore. The flotsam is full of masks, different to the first wave before. We had the summer to dance and have fun. Now reality's hit like a shot from a gun. We jolt from our dreams, still stuck to our screens, and remember the past and fear the future we all knew would come.
What lies behind these rhymes, Andrew?
So I wrote this during the start of the second wave in October of 2020. And it was an expression of my fears about what was to come.
How do you feel about the different waves as a medical professional?
The actual term wave is interesting in itself. Normally, you associate waves with the sea, the kind of, well, I was going to say unpredictable. I guess that the tides and things like that are predictable by the moon and the other mechanisms that cause waves to happen. Um, they didn't seem much of a break between between the waves. It's all kind of sort of meshed in together, really.
Um, the public expects all of this to end, so to speak. Businesses want all of this to end. What is your view? Is there an end to the waves?
I think the waves will get smaller. I mean, the wave in April of 2020 was new to everybody, but most of us that worked in the medical background knew that the winter was always going to be worse, and it was. And we sit and wait for another wave to come, sort of later this year, perhaps. And you read in the news all kind of things. I was reading something recently that says expect masks and social distancing for years to come. And I've said this before in a previous podcast. I actually really do think that will be the case. It's not just vaccinated back life back to normal. And even when people say, "Oh, you don't have to wear masks anymore," and you don't have to do the social distancing, I think people's anxieties will remain. Somebody coughs, you turn around. I think that stuff will take quite a while to go out of people's minds. People not wanting to go out and things like that. Um, what do you think the sort of the future or the near future has got sort of for us all regarding this?
I think I'm not a medical professional, so this is just my personal opinion. I share it with you that people will be cautious for time to come. I see that in myself on rare occasion when I meet a friend outdoors, socially distanced. I have this urge to hug them and have to hold back. Because obviously you don't know how the other person would react, and it's not advisable to still hug people even if they and you are vaccinated. So I think this is going to stay with us for a while. For us who are, so to speak, middle aged or older, I think going back to some sort of normality wouldn't be that strange. But there are new generations of people who may basically, introduce a behavior where they're overcautious, even when there is a vaccination, let's say every year, that really diminishes the danger of actually becoming seriously ill or passing on the disease. So, yes, I think there will be further implications. Um, how do you expect the audience will look at your first book of poetry after the applause, pandemic poetry of a frontline nurse, now when it comes out this year and in future?
I think some of these things are fairly timeless. Some of the concepts in that book are fairly timeless. Um, and some of it will be looked back in, I guess, in some semi-historical way as well. I was thinking a few weeks ago, actually, taking photographs on your phone. I was thinking of specifically taking photographs on your phone of things which have become fairly standard now, but in 10 years' time, you'll look back and think, wow, people are wearing masks, everyone's wearing masks, or there's masks all over the floor. It's interesting how litter is now being replaced from sweet wrappers to discarded masks. So I think the poems themselves, some of them will have a retrospective quality to them where we can think of this is where we were at that time. But some of them, because they go beyond the pandemic and beyond the issues of the pandemic, they're more about personal growth and personal issues, if you like. I think they will always have a place.
Thank you. Would you now like to read Wave again for our listeners, please?
Wave. The second wave hits the bleak and battered shore. The flotsam is full of masks, different to the first wave before. We had the summer to dance and have fun. Now reality's hit, like the shot from a gun. We jolt from our dreams, still stuck to our screens, and remember the past, and fear the future we all knew would come. You have been listening to Behind the Rhymes, the mountain we all climb. With me, Andrew.
And me, Maya. If you like this podcast, look out for more on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Breaker,
Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify.